So let's talk a little bit about quantum timelines and what that means, as well as quantum superposition and the mechanics of the higher self, which I'm titling The Life of Pi. Pi equaling 3.14, or as you know, the radius of a pi shape within a 360-degree circle. And as you can see from this diagram that I created, you have these different slices within a 360-degree circle, which is considered to be a full lifespan, or I would guess you can say your soul's lifespan. Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail and coming full circle, as we like to say. In terms of our existence here within the earth realm, we have a system set up here for reincarnation. And if you're just joining me, I've determined that we have a moon machine that is housed within the moon, on the backside of the moon, that pretty much recycles souls, and you enter in through one of the 12 gates of light, and your soul gets pushed back out into a physical body within this closed system or earth realm. What I have determined is that the full lifespan of a soul is a full circle, or you have the larger span of your existence, which would be the full circle of your life, meaning that on a quantum level or on a more bite-sized level, you are living out smaller lifespans within this circle or pi. And basically you reincarnate into a body when your soul goes into quantum superposition, and you come back out to live another quantum bite-sized portion of life, a discrete quantity of energy that's proportional in magnitude to the frequency of the radiation it represents, or similar form. So it's like likening a small amount to a much larger amount. So the 360-degree experience, or the full circle, would be every lifetime that you've experienced in a macro level, and each lifetime would represent each quantum, or a smaller portion of each of the lives that you've lived as you reincarnated into a body. Let's start at the center, where there is a black dot, and that black dot represents your higher self. Your higher self can see all timelines. At the center would be your soul, and your soul sits at the center, and your soul is very much aware of all of the timelines and lifespans within these quantum measurements. I learned that your soul chooses a timeline, or chooses a life based on the access of genetic codes that it has. So it's kind of like whatever bloodlines you have in the present that are within your genetic code would predetermine what lines of genetic access you have to reincarnate into a physical body. So let's say currently you have ties to a European line, or you have ties to an African line in your current or last incarnation, which would be this cycle. Then you would be able to choose the line based on your current genetic information as to where you would incarnate in the past. It's kind of like the future affecting the past, and your higher self being able to direct the show. Your higher self is choosing paths that will direct your future, meaning that they're going in certain time frames to create a quantum portion of your life in order to affect the overall portion of your lifespan, meaning that your soul's lifespan is being directed by your higher self that sits at the center here, and it's choosing based on the genetic line access it has in the present, and it's deciding, okay, if I choose to be this emperor or this pharaoh and I incarnate into this body, I want to change this law, or I want to, get rid of this person, or I want to change this particular thing in the game of life in order for me to open a pathway in the next life that I'm going to choose for the future me. When I get to this space in the future where I'm coming to my full circle, your higher self has already laid the path, because as you can see, your higher self sits at the center of your full timeline experience. Your soul is the black seed, which is melanin. Free radicals within melanin are not connected to any photon. They're not in any structure, basically. Free radicals in melanin exhibit paramagnetic behavior and are attracted to magnetic fields. So in this diagram that I created in regards to Earth being a closed system, this is a magnetic sphere, and the magnetic sphere is created by two wingnut magnets, one at the north and the south node, and these two wingnut magnets create a toroidal shaped magnet sphere. And on that magnetic sphere, you have these alloy silver balls that act as projection screens for the lights that are projected from the moon machine on the back side of the moon, or what they call the dark side of the moon. And these particular light gates that are projected from the moon machine, these two magnets, as they are turning in their directions, they are creating a center vortex, or this magnetic toroidal field vortex. And at the center of that vortex is water, which is why they say that the moon controls the water, okay? The moon and this magnetic toroidal field work hand in hand. And basically you have water at the center, which is creating a vortex. And this spinning process is what creates the gravity, okay, that holds together all matter, or the resonance. This is what you call G-force or centrifugal force, which pretty much holds all matter together within a closed system. This is what you would consider to be the law of conservation of energy in a closed system. And notice it says in a closed system in regards to this law, meaning that it has to be a closed system in order for this particular energy conservation law to be active. So in a closed system, the total amount of energy remains constant, even if it changes form. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. So if we're talking about our soul, and we're talking about our soul's energy not being destroyed, we are in a closed system. And what we have within this closed system is a moon time machine. Now, to discuss a little bit more and give you a little bit more background on this moon time machine, the main mechanism of the machine operates on xenon difluoride, which is XEF2. This chemical possesses a nuclear spin. It uses nuclear magnetic resonance of Earth's magnetic field to attract melanin-free radical. XEF2 is an oxidizing agent that causes corrosion, regression, or traveling backwards. So based on this magnetic rotation of Earth's field, you have this nuclear spin within xenon difluoride, and basically it is operating in conjunction with the nuclear magnetic resonance of the magnetic field created in the vortex. And this particular energy, when it's spinning, attracts photon light energy. It becomes an absorber of red photon light energy. Time travel cannot be accomplished in a physical matter body. In order for you to time travel, you would have to die. So a lot of Earth's system is set up with regressing type elements so that our bodies naturally decay, and that when you finally do pass away, you are able to incarnate once again through the moon machine into another body so that you can go through a full lifespan or full soul lifespan in quantum portions, as you can see from this map. So quantum superposition happens at the middle of two inverted pyramids. It is the midpoint between these two spaces. And within the moon machine, there is this machine that lives within two inverted spaces, as well as the magnetic sphere or this toroidal energy, creating two triangular shapes on either side of the north and the south node. We are naturally at the center when the moon is reincarnating us and creates quantum superposition that allows your soul to be reincarnated. Now, as I will get into in a future video talking about the ancient Egyptians and how they used or had knowledge of quantum superposition by using the pyramids and using this sign called Wakanda Forever, they would create inverted pyramids in order for them to quantum jump through the sun portal versus the moon portal. This is why you would see on the hieroglyphics, they would mainly be more focused on getting to Ra, or this solar disk. And that would be the essence of after they pass away, they come back to their bodies and they see that they're dead. They see these inscriptions. The inscriptions say, hey, you need to make sure that your energy is balanced, or mayat, meaning that in order for you to go through the sun portal, the sun itself has a set frequency of light. So you cannot have lower frequencies in order for you to enter in through this light portal. And this is what the Egyptians would do by using this descriptive. They would know, hey, I need to be balanced within my light body so that when I get ready to go through this sun portal, I can escape. And this is what they were using in order for them to go through the sun portal to get to seventh heaven, what they call the field of reeds. And the sun is a portal, or it has this black melanin-based, soul-based core, which is the essence of God. And they would quantum jump their souls through these two inverted pyramids, which were generated by the pyramid itself having a capstone that reflects the light of the sun, would in turn create an inverted holographic pyramid, which would then put their souls into quantum superposition so that they could forward themselves through the sun portal at death, making sure that they were an energetic match to the sun's frequency so that they were not destroyed, meaning that they had to confess their sins through the 42 negative confessions, make sure that there were no syntax errors within their command or analog body. And then they were able to pass through the sun portal. And once they passed through the sun portal, they would then be transported into the field of reeds. Reeds actually grow on the side of water. So that's telling you that on the outside of this magnetic sphere that we call Earth, there is water. And on top of that, or in the next level of that, above that, in order to get to this seventh heaven, which is the field of reeds, reeds would be on the side of this water. And it was more so a descriptive of this place that is Atlantis. Okay. So this is how they would get to Atlantis. And this is how they would quantum jump through the sun portal versus the moon portal. Because if you go through one of the 12 gates of light within the moon portal, that means that your soul is going to incarnate back into Earth realm. You cannot escape outside of Earth realm because the moon machine itself is like a soul energetic trap. It's going to take you back through one of the 12 gates of light, and you're going to come back to be spit back out into a body. Because as you can see from this diagram, it is shaped in a way that pretty much sends you into an 8 loop, which is an 8, or the cycle of time as demonstrated on this diagram. And it's going to spit you back out into a physical body. Pyramid actually is pi radius middle, which is 3.14. 3 plus 1 plus 4 equals 8, which is time, or 3.1 is 3 plus 1 equals 4. 4 is the quadrants within a 360-degree circle, which is actually time. So if you're going through the moon machine to incarnate into another body, you will be subject to time. And I don't know if you've ever heard this, but a lot of people who have near-death experiences describe that they see a bright light at the end of a tunnel. There is a reason why they have this type of folklore and stories going around. It is because when you die, you have the option to go through the moon machine portal. There will be a light there for you, and it will be guiding you to go through one of these 12 gates of light so that you can be regenerated and spit back out into a body. I firmly believe that a lot of the people who have not ascended in knowledge and don't have this information that I am giving to you will not be aware of how they can do something different, which is go through the sun portal so that they do not have to come back and reincarnate into a physical body. If you lack knowledge, or if the knowledge is hidden and you have no idea how to do that, and you die and you say you see a light, then a lot of times you probably will walk back into that light and be reincarnated into a physical body. It's just a matter of lacking knowledge of self and understanding. So now that I'm telling you, you know, okay? So you can't say that you don't know. This is what happens at death. So your soul, which is comprised of melanin, has a direct connection to the sun, and through the sun as a portal, which is a direct connection to teleport you through the sun portal in a quantum level back into the God realm or the seventh heaven, or it could be attracted to the xenon difluoride within the moon machine and pull you into this machine using the energy of free radicals that exist within melanin to be absorbed into this light absorption machine, which is XEF2, and spit back out into a physical body. A lot of this information I have received on this moon machine is a result of me doing an Akashic Records download. And as you can tell, the Lionsgate portal is actually on 8/8 of every year, which is actually October 8th, because October would be the actual 8th month of the year. So when I did this in 2021, I did not go through the Lionsgate or begin to go through the Lionsgate portal until October of 2021. And as I went through this portal, it was more so downloading and telling me all of my lifespan's information, all of my soul lifespan's information. It was telling me every little life that I've lived within this full circle. It was telling me, okay, you were this person, you were this person, you were this person, you were this person. And my full circle is what you see here, where I am embodying the energy or the main energy of who I am, which is why I am able to teach you these things, because I was informed that I am Inanna, okay? And my soul's energy, or the embodiment of my full soul's energy, is the goddess Inanna, which is Venus. And I know all of this information, and I can download it through my Akashic Records because I was actually existing in this timeline. So a lot of what you are hearing on this channel is based on my genetic access, as well as me downloading my Akashic Records from 2021. And here we are all the way in 2025, coming to the completion of this cycle, and me being given this information to pass on to the masses. There are no coincidences. There are no mistakes. I have obtained Christ consciousness, and this enables me to be able to decipher this information in the ways that I can and understand this science on a level in order to apply it to my understanding of how everything works. So I hope you enjoyed this message, and stay tuned for the next video that I'll be dropping in regards to the rest of the closed system decode that I am doing. And yeah, just like, share, and subscribe. Hit that like button. Put a comment down in the comments and just let me know what you think of this content overall. And per usual, thank you for watching. Peace, love, and light.